Caleb, who I love as a main character, is because he's this kid from basically from rural Kentucky who everybody always assumes he's in this, sort of academy where of warrior diplomats basically, where like they're all like the best of the best and the cream of the crop and stuff. And he's just spent so much of his life with people always looking down on him and assuming, well, he must be a redneck. Oh, you're from Southern Kentucky. You must be some, racist kid. You must be homophobic or whatever else. And they never like credit the fact that maybe he actually learned Latin and ancient Greek, and maybe he knows how to fence, and maybe he's actually studied some things. And so he always has this phrase that he tells people. He says, "Just because you're looking down on me doesn't mean you see who I am." And that type of character I love because he's so because there's a fundamental rebellion against everything that's going on. And so, but that means that as soon as I start writing the book, when I have a thing where okay, plot says this happens, Caleb does this. Caleb doesn't do that, right? That you realize because as you're writing it and as you're breathing life into that character, that character would not necessarily go the same route everyone else would go in that position. And so and that for me is something that's incredibly hard to predict ahead of time. Like especially, a character who acts out of any kind of rebellion or a character who's acting out of emotional trauma or any of those things. The whole point is that they're hard to predict what they do. That's what makes them so interesting to follow. And so I'll have these scenes where I'm like, okay, I know exactly where a typical book fantasy would go in this sort of situation. And I go, yeah, but Caleb's not going that way. He's going to go, screw you guys. I'm headed over here. So yeah, so that's part of, but that's part of the joy of it.